iDiski Times, now available in stores around the country.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za in the MTN 8. Mamelodi Sundowns go through against Soweto Giants. Moroka swallows one of the biggest teams in the history of South African football in all of our imaginations. That's the red and the maroon and white of Iswaiswai, the Dube Birds, one of the best teams to ever emerge from South Africa. A team with imagination, a team with some of the greatest players we've ever seen, a team that Tso Vilakazi's late father was a supporter of, and a lot of people that we know who are older, the older generation. That's the team. That's Moroka Swallows. They've got their name back, but they still need to get their groove back in terms of their form and scoring goals as well. Tso Vilakazi, our analyst, what do you make of the game, sir?
Hey, Mr. Kiyo kunjani mfethu? Ngibulise wena, ngibulise Junior, ngibulise Justice. Ngibulise na nemakhaya. Ngicela support njalo la iDiskiTV. Ngizobe nje benjalo akuchike futhi.
After the birds.
Ayi madoda, izibovu madoda. Ayi. Sibanjwe ngenyawo lapha yana. Ayi sibanjwe ngenyawo lapha Mr. Kiyo. Ayi. Sayifuna iVAR, ayi iVAR ngiyayifuna. No. Yabona kube nje kuya ngami. Njobe ngisho ngithi la kuyoba idraw extra time.
This is so and so.
Offside, Mr. Kiyo. Ayibeki offside. Idraw. Mafita.
But so even if banginika la moment ne uzofika nalabantu jo abastrong kanje ku extra time bakudabule nge5 ku extra time.
Mr. Kiyo, you know one thing that engijabulisayo la mangifuna ukuthi kube draw yele. I always say, Mr. Kiyo, ukuthi the game my questions and there's answers again in that. Of which that what Coach Steve Kompela did.
Amaru Coach Steve bekanayo question paper in advance. Yazi ukuthi mawuhamba uyolala endlini uyostudisha exam, mari question paper iphethe kanje, answer sheet futhi inama answers. Ngoba vele he comes from Sundowns. He knows team talk uyazi from A up to Z. He knows ukuthi what is uRulani uzobe azinwaye ubuso lapha athi azenza uPep Guardiola. He knows everything about uRulani Mukwena.
Lapho iqiniso wena Mr. Kiyo. The difference between the two teams it's players. The quality of the players, yes, and you know the effort that they've put. I'll clap hands for Swallows. You know, Mr. Kiyo, as a coach, getting a red card in about 8 minutes and to hold on to that 0-0 against Sundowns until we have time. That's a big achievement. You know, Sundowns they'll break you to pieces because the quality of the players, the way the structures, Sabo, the way badlala corner, they'll tear you apart. But you know, they've managed to keep themselves together, try and fight, getting those set pieces, of which I felt I think try and do something. You know, you can see that in an open play, there's nothing that we can do against these big guys. But, you know, in set pieces, anything is possible. We can play a short corner, and then from there, direct inside, maybe somebody get a header. You know, you'll never know.
Make a plan.
Yeah, make a plan. But well done to Gabuyelo. I mean, yes, I well done, but I've got a question mark because I'm not happy with that. Goal.
After best.
I is above Matoda. Balui Labafana Mr. Kiyo first half, and I could see a good team. Now they'll just need the mental strength second half because Sundowns, it's Sundowns. No, pound to pound, they can't match those players. And in the group and as a team, definitely they will be tired, and that's what happened. You know, they got tired because and that's what happened. And yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game, and I like when I see coaches, even Orlando, when I said in half time with now. The frustration would also go to Sundown to say we need to think now to say these guys, how do we break them? And I said good, you know, one thing that will break Swallows is to stretch them. When you use the width, definitely they need to stretch. Then you're gonna cut. When you cut inside, you'll find those spaces in between, and that's what Sundowns they did. And you are getting in this game. I like these two coaches. These two coaches for me, they just made my day. because I learn from them, and when I see them, the game is giving them questions, and they come with those answers, and then I'm like, wow, if we can go on like this, we're growing with our football.
Yeah, there's something that's interesting so about Coach Steve Kompela. It's the same interesting thing that maybe Mangoba Mngeti is going to be confronted with. It's all good and well to be at Sundowns in that environment. The team with the most money, the most organized team, the greatest team in the modern era in South African football, really, in terms of their achievements, the players, and doing everything right. Even a president who believes in doing things right by the players, pay them well, everything. That's a state-of-the-art environment, really, if you think about it. It's all good and well to be in that environment. You are sheltered. They win most of the time. 80 or 90% of the time they win. Steve Kompela is now at a football club where after 3 games, they're like, yo, you've lost 2, you've drawn 1, whatever the stat is. So 5 matches, 6 matches, and then they start looking at you, but where is this promised land that you promised us? And then naye athi hayi bo madoda mina bendisuka ku-environment ebingena pressure kakhulu bendizisebenzela ndiziqoqoshela ikhona ku-Sundowns. Why are you putting me under pressure? Let's talk about that. So like about those dynamics. At some point sooner or later there is going to be an expectation of results, and at some point sooner or later that's going to be a telling pressure which he didn't have at Sundowns.
That's a sad part when you talk about football, Mr. Nkeu. It's something that you don't wish for any coach to go through that, because one day it will be you sitting in that seat, and definitely sure that you will like that also to happen to you. But in football, it does happen that when you lose certain games, they always put a number of games to say, look, maybe if we lose against maybe Sundowns, will give you a benefit of the doubt, but you can't lose maybe against sorry to mention the names of the teams, not that I disrespect them, but we as I'll put myself in that position of, as owners of the teams, we always check to say, but really with the players that I gave you now, I can't lose a game against I'll say Chippa United or Arrows or Polokwane City or Cape Town Spurs. Those games, those are the games that you need to go and get those 3 points. But the sad part about all of that is that coaches are not playing. That's the sad part, that they give instructions to the players, and the players, they need to react based on those instructions and also apply their minds in the game. So it's a game of sometimes more shine. It also he got to tell it the head, yeah. So it's all about, or as a coach, you always hope good team. No, izinto zikusebenzele ngale ndlela lo officer ngayo wena, but sometimes you can plan and do everything perfect, but ama results angafiki, and it happens to a lot of coaches. When you look at him, you like, but why? Because you could see the team is doing very well, they play. For example, I'm making Zapuna coach lo, coach outlander lo, coach na Swallows play good football. Good football, but he was not winning. Now you ask yourself, with the type of football, why are you not winning? Same applies to Coach Eric. Now what 10-10s, when I was asking, Coach Eric needs to fight for the league with the quality players that he's got. But you don't know what's happening. Coach 10-10s here with the quality football, but things that they don't just happen. And unfortunately, that's life of being in the football in South Africa.
Yeah. Lastly, Sundowns on to the next round of the MTN 8. Now, this is going to be a difficult part, because whoever gets Sundowns go semi-final, you have to play them in the first leg and the second leg. Where Pirates pulled it off last time around. They won. It was 1-1 in the first leg and 3-0 in the second leg. And they had an away goal as well. So it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. To beat Sundowns in 2 matches, or to not lose against them in 2 matches, in order for you to go to the final, is very difficult.
Kabuyelo. Yeah, no. It's in final in this. Listen, Mr. K, when you go, uyopegana nalabantu lapha Trishville. You know, banokuthi mawuphuma endlini uhamba uyacheck ukuthi iminyango ivalile yonke into uvalile. Sundowns izongena ngale mbobo lezi encane lapha nale mbobo esikhiye ngena lapho eSundowns. And yeah, no, playing Sundowns first leg and second leg. Yes, it happened last season, and it went well for Pirates. They went all the way and win the MTN 8 Cup, and so we don't know this time around who's gonna face Sundowns. Whoever's gonna face Sundowns, yeah, be prepared. But I think if they can get Pirates are tighter for the cup.
There you go. The MTN, they still have to. Okay, we are about to watch Paris Kukuna, so we don't know what's going to happen there. They still have to overcome that hurdle. Otherwise, good game, Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they won in the first half, really, to be honest. We were just waiting for when the goal will be scored. It is iDiskiTV, iDiskiTimes, also sports betting. Thank you for watching us.